Welcome to Saturday Play here in Sarasota, Florida of the 2012 USA Ultimate Club Championships. Day 3 of our continuing coverage here of this event on NGN. Encoding by Elemental Technologies. I'm Kyle Weisbrod here with Topher Davis. And we have quarterfinal action here in the women's division between Chicago's Nemesis and Austin's Double Wide. Two teams from low seeds coming up from the top. From the bottom, Nemesis the 11th seed starting out, and Showdown the 12th seed. Tell us a little about these teams.
Well, Nemesis we saw yesterday. We know that they're a team that relies heavily on some of their top throwers, their top athletes, and I'm sure, again, we're going to see them getting a lot of playing time. Showdown is a team that a few years ago decided to combine all the talent in the great state of Texas. They've been having a great run so far at this Nationals tournament, only losing one game to Riot yesterday in their power pools. And they are a team that will play a lot of their big roster. Their coach said the whole reason of having a large roster is to play everyone. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of depth, especially on the defensive side. And for the most part, both teams are going to be struggling. Again, we have this upwind, downwind game, so we're going to see how they adjust and how the offenses work on the downwind points and how the defenses are able to get those very, very crucial upwind breaks.
And a very meaningful team for both of these franchises. Neither one has ever qualified for the semifinals, so this is a big opportunity for each of them to kind of put their footprint down here on the national stage. Of course, obviously this is also for a bid to the US Open next year as well on the line in this game. Definitely keep an eye out for number 5, Kara Crouch on Showdown. A lot of history, very talented player, former Callahan winner out of the University of Texas. And as we saw yesterday, in the Nemesis game, keep an eye out for number 21, Kelly Johnson, with the shock of red hair. Big player for Nemesis.
Yeah, and Kelly Johnson's game yesterday was very impressive. She was doing a lot on the throws, and then she seemed to be the only one with intensity with her defense, getting the disc a lot, always earning it back, especially on those downwind points where they really needed to score. I'm expected to see a lot of great play from her today, along with those other top players on Nemesis.
So points in that upwind end zone, very, very valuable out here today. In Showdown's last round matchup yesterday against Seattle's Riot, Showdown managed to pull in 1 upwind score while Seattle got 2 for the win. Here's number 31, Shelby Cooney from Showdown with the pull, opening up our game, and we're on.
Rolling pull goes all the way to the brick. A long field for Nemesis to work with, and Showdown showing a zone look right off the bat.
Looks like a trap zone with 4 people in the cup, pushing that backhand sideline. Lots of rotation on the mark. Nice breakout. Downfield to Gould. Gould dishes up to Doobie. Back to Kelly Johnson. Showdown's transition into what looks like a man-to-man. A lot of poaching in the middle of the field. Nice pressure there from number 32 on Showdown. That's Beck's 4th.
It's going to come back as a foul, though. 4th was all over intended receiver, Sarah Miller. Uncontested. Nemesis still with the ball.
So Kelly Johnson in the middle of the field, just past half field, out to Miller. And here's a shot from Miller. And a nice smooth pass to Kristen Doobie for the score. So nice work on the opening offensive possession for Nemesis. And they put it on the board, 1-0.
Yeah, and that is a difficult pass to throw downwind. Certainly the downwind throws are easier, but you have to put the touch on it. We saw a lot of throws be taken out of the back of the end zone, just moving past the receivers. Great touch, and Nemesis looking smooth in their first offensive point. And punching it in 1-0.
I think you're exactly right, Trevor. That is the throw that we saw Nemesis really struggle with yesterday in their game against Fury, which they lost 15-3. You know, being able to nail down that downwinder and close out that downwind points and giving your defense opportunities on those upwind breaks is going to be key for them to succeed and move on to the semifinals.
Set to pull for Nemesis is Leanne King.
Leanne King, the pull for Nemesis.
King yesterday on the turns, when Nemesis defense was getting the ball, she was always picking up, bringing it up to the line. So very important handler here on this D-line. We'll see how she handles this wind initially with the pull.
So King with the outside in pull, roller, rolls out of bounds, very good pull. Past midfield. And Nemesis comes out man to man. Kara Crouch with the high back in around. And Nemesis with the downwind shot. Misread by number 16, Sarah Levin, but 7, Frances Toscano for Showdown pulls it in. So 1-1, Showdown matching Nemesis. First possession, also smooth. Both teams showing they can handle the downwinders.
Yeah, downwind points are really important, and what I like about this throw is it goes all the way across the field, throwing down that same third of the field. We saw Nemesis do that, a little bit more difficult. This gives plenty of time. It doesn't hit the intended receiver, but of course, Frances Toscano is there to get the goal.
So Katie Forth there with the assist, nice smooth motion. You see Showdown's coach, Mark Krasniewski, out on the field, giving instruction for his upwind D-line. Looks to be calling a zone defense here, so we should probably see zone again. Austin Lin with the disc to pull. Pulls up. Low roller.
Austin Lin to pull for Showdown.
Showdown in the zone. It looks like a box and one. 3-person cup with 1 person guarding a handler. They've matched up this time on Kelly Johnson. And effective. Showdown able to generate the turnover here, and now they have an opportunity past midfield going upwind. Rachel Massey picking it up for him. The hanging pass caught downfield by Showdown, but looks like a call. It's number 12, Diane Cherrier, who made the grab.
That throw going upwind just floats. Everyone is able to get under it. There's a discussion, of course, when there's a pile up, someone always feels like the full power of their jump is taken away and they want to call the foul. We'll see how the observers rule on this one.
To me, it doesn't look like there's any contact there that's non-incidental. It looks like there's a lot of people in the same place. Most of them are going straight up. No one's pushing or shoving, obviously, in the middle of that pile. Certainly the receiver who caught it came straight down with it. Observers ruled no foul. So Cherrier with the disc. Back to Lynn, and Lynn with a shot to the end zone, incomplete. Intended receiver was Bexforth. Looks like Showdown scrambling to get back in their zone defense. They're going back to the box and one. I like this box and one look. Kelly Johnson, obviously the main cog in their offense here, but Nemesis is able to work it downfield. It's Gould back to number 88, Nye, across the field. Sarah Miller with it. Miller to Gould. Gould can't hold on. Amanda Behrens picks it up for Showdown. Out wide to Massey. Massey up line. Bexforth with the disc. Fourth around. Lynn. Lynn with another floater up in the middle. And again, Showdown comes down with it. This time number 6, Sheila Ogden with the reception. And a foul called on Ogden here.
The catch is going to count. I think the foul is coming off the pivoting. I believe the mark is calling the foul.
Take another look at it. So nice grab by Ogden.
And Showdown with their second opportunity in the red zone to break upwind. This would be very big for their defense if they're able to work it up.
Fourth with the disc. Nice up line movement there from Massey. Coming back across the field. Lynn with the disc across and behind the receiver. That's 2 throws to the end zone, 2 incomplete passes for Showdown. Showdown this time quickly able to get back in their zone defense and a block right away on the goal line. Quick pass and the goal, the upwinder for Showdown.
Huge point for Showdown. Great defensive effort. And that block, Kelly Johnson was going to just try to punt it, give their defense plenty of time to stop the disc. And I believe it is Showdown's Kim Breeze who gets a hand in there, stopping the disc right in front of the goal line. And not only that, it was just a transition where all of the Nemesis girls were downfield, and Showdown had a great opportunity for a fast break.
There's fourth to Breeze for the score, so Breeze doing it on both sides with the block and the goal. 2-1 Showdown. You know, we watched a lot of games yesterday and we didn't see any zone defense. And Showdown showing a very effective zone here, particularly that box and one, you know, against a team that has one very strong handler here, making making the other 6 players of the team have to do the work for Nemesis.
Yeah, and I was talking with Mark Krasnewski before the game, and I asked him, you know, when you found out you were playing Nemesis, we filmed that game yesterday, did you go home and watch the film? He said, absolutely. And it sounded like he knew some of the players beforehand, but getting that opportunity to see the team before they're going to play them, they definitely know who they want to match up on, who they're trying to shut down as the throwers, and that could be a huge difference in this game, as they know the Nemesis line very well.
Well, as the amount of footage in the sport extends, we're going to see a lot more of this scouting. You know, one of the interesting things yesterday when we were talking to Ron Cabalanza, the coach of Nemesis, he said that he doesn't scout other teams. All he cares about his own team. Even a team like Fury that has a lot of footage out there of them. I mean, he's a bit of an iconoclast in that way, you know, kind of doing his own thing. And it's worked for Nemesis so far. They've definitely broken seed and they're doing better than teams would expect. But you couldn't help but think that maybe if he were scouting a little more, he might be able to pick up some more of these tendencies. So Showdown again with his own defense, this time with Nemesis working upwind. Liz Shield with the disc. Again, it's a box and one. They're manned up on Kelly Johnson. Massey with the disc, back to Shield. Kelly Johnson gets the disc, puts it up line. It's gonna be interesting to see what Kelly does. It looks like Johnson now trying to get involved here and still get the disc. Now she's clearing out. Shield with the disc. Coming around. Up the middle. Good movement here from Nemesis. Nice hands from Gould. Nye with it. Across to Miller. Miller with the IO. Gould. Back to Miller.
Nemesis showing great patience in the zone. They haven't forced anything too much. This throw floating upwind, just out of the reach. Christine Doobie. Showdown has to work 70 yards though. So even though Nemesis gets the turnover, they were able to effectively work it downfield.
Showdown takes a shot right away. Good touch on this one, but too far. All the way downfield. Expect Showdown to shut that back up. That was Sarah Blythe with the huck. And a big block right away. Christina Contreras there with the D. Contreras out of Stanford University, won championships with them. And a nice break there to number 31, Shelby Cooney with the goal. Sarah Blythe with the assist. Blythe out of University of Texas. Also spent some time playing for Ozone in Atlanta and then moved back to Austin last year. So Showdown, nice defense here from Qtrs, and then able to convert on the turnover. And now they're up 3-1.
Yeah, both of Showdown's breaks have been on very, very crucial Ds on the goal line to set themselves up for a quick shot at the end zone. I think when Showdown got the disc up on the 70-yard line, that pass was mostly just a punt to set themselves up to get a short field turn, and it works out for them. Nemesis, after 2 breaks in a row, looks like they're going to take a timeout and regroup. We will take a quick break here. Be sure to keep watching quarterfinals matchups here on the Next Gen Network.
So we're back after the Nemesis timeout. Showdown up 3-1. Nemesis pulling in, probably talk about that box and one defense that Showdown has been running here and try to figure out how to deal with it. They need to be able to keep Kelly Johnson involved in this game. They can't, they're not gonna be able to win this game 6-on-6 with Kelly Johnson not involved. So Austin Lynn with the pull, rolls out of bounds. Johnson to pick the disc up. And Showdown comes down man-to-man. Forced backhand. And Lizzie Shield going up line. Unable to hold on to it, so Showdown with another opportunity. Lots of momentum. But they turn it right back over. So 3 passes on this point, 3 turnovers now. And here's a completion. Van Zandt with the disc. Van Zandt tries to go around and point block by Miller. Miller immediately going deep. And this one out of reach.
Again, I think that's a Nemesis strategy of just punting the disc in this wind, making Showdown work a full 70 yards, maybe get one of those short field turns so they have less than 25 yards that their offense isn't able to string together with their passes. Maybe they can do it with their defense.
Now, when we're talking about punting the disc, it's not like there's no receiver going, right? They still have receivers going. It's a much, they're willing to take those higher risk passes because they're getting the benefit of after the turnover, the other team having to work it upfield. And if it works out, which it will work out sometimes, that's fantastic for them. It's a long way to go. Here's a deep shot from Austin Lynn, turnover. Shield to pick the disc up. Johnson. Johnson with a high release backhand. Nice little dish, high backhand. Shield to the goal. Out of reach there for Val Nye. Again, that's the tough downwinder there. Lots of touch required on those short downwind throws. Rachel Masson pick it up. Showdown work to have a horizontal. Swing across to Van Zandt. Austin Lynn with the break. And bobbling coming down with it, number 25, that's Tina Woodings. And here's a shot. Lots of traffic in there, looks like a foul call. Edith Tang, the receiver, calling the foul.
Yeah, that disc was plenty of float. Showdown just trying to get it downfield. And everyone gets in there.
Nice distance on that throw from Woodings on that upwinder. And a really good job keeping that one flat and giving her receivers an opportunity to make a play on it. I mean, she had to power through that. You saw her hip action there. Great angle of release on that throw to keep it flat. So observer rules no foul. So distance check back in.
No foul.
Rachel Massey to pick the disco. Force backhand. Throw down the middle. Deep by Showdown. Van Zant goes with a backhand around. Nice space pass.
That is a great throw from Van Sant, hitting the break side on the backhand, giving both herself the advantage of getting on that stronger backhand throw, and the receiver the advantage because everyone should be sitting on that live side, flick side force.
Tina Woodings with the reception there, and that is a very difficult throw in these conditions to make. Puts it out with a lot of spin. You know, surprised the wind didn't do more with that. Had a lot to do with that snap, that wrist snap, and the spin that she put on that disc. And Showdown with another upwind break, up 4-1.
Yeah, Nemesis now working upwind. I'm sure we're gonna see another zone like we have earlier today. We're gonna take a look at that box zone that we're talking about. Number 21, on the right of your screen, Kelly Johnson is a big thrower. You can see she's being man-marked. When she comes into that cup, she can't get it, and so she's just gonna go to the other side of the field, have her other players try to work through the zone. Difficult position to have one of your top players just be taken out of the offensive play.
It'll be interesting to see if Showdown does come with that boxing one again. How does Nemesis adjust that? Are they gonna try to get Johnson back involved in the play a little more? I really don't believe that with the other 6 players, they need Johnson touching the disc. She has the best throws on the squad. And especially in a windy game like this, they need her to be able to put the disc. So big pull here from Showdown. King to pull it down. And it does look like the boxing one again. Diana Charrier is the one manning up on Kelly Johnson. Beyond that, it's a 3-person cup with 2 wings and 1 deep. So they've taken the standard zone, taken the short deep out, and manned up against Kelly Johnson here. Johnson still staying pretty far away from the disc here, letting the rest of her squad work the disc. Nice movement. Good break from Shield there. Julia Weiner.
Disc on the swing, floats out of bounds. King trying to toe the line and reach out her whole body for it, unable to get it, and Showdown less than 10 yards for their next break. 1 pass.
So Hannah Giles with the catch. Kara Crouch picks that up, and just quick off the transition. 5-1. Showdown opened up a huge lead here earlier with smart matchups and smart strategy.
Yeah, one thing about zone defense that kind of goes underappreciated, the defense, of course, is a phenomenal strategy, but when the disc is turned, it's very difficult for the former offense to transition into their defense because they don't have a matchup. They don't have a player that they're just used to going right on because they've been guarding them. It has to be a lot more communicative. And as we see there, just if one receiver doesn't get picked up, it provides a very easy opportunity for Showdown to get a break. So far, 4 breaks in this game, 2 upwind breaks, really making it easy to get that downwind break, the consecutive point.
So against this boxing one, it is harder to get the disc to the person who's being marked up 1-to-1. Kelly Johnson's situation. And you have two options. So what Showdown has been doing is pulling Kelly Johnson out, letting the other 6 players work the disc. The other option here is to get Kelly Johnson involved. Cutting being marked 1-on-1 isn't much more difficult than a man-to-man defense, right? And once you get the disc in the hands of Kelly Johnson, you have 4-person to cut and only 3 defenders downfield, and so Kelly Johnson can use her throws to break it open. And if she can do it in that situation, Nemesis could get the disc moving. And the swing pass here out of bounds.
Val Nye just not seeing the line. She's straddling it when she catches it. That's going to be out of bounds.
So here's another floater. Iceman catches it. She actually threw it, but it got touched in between. Wind really picking up here. Very strong gusts, pushing 30 miles per hour. Even these short throws, very difficult for Showdown. This one out of bounds. Today is supposed to be the windiest of the 4 days here at the club championships.
Our first full game of elimination, so I'm sure teams are just unhappy with the fact that they have to battle for a chance to stay alive in very unwelcoming conditions.
So Showdown in a different look of a zone here. And Nemesis making quick work of it. The zone look was a 3-person cup, but in the middle would mark. And here it is, Nemesis with their score.
War.
Check the observers, and that goal counts. Nemesis gets their second goal on an offensive downwind point.
Showdown 5.
Breaking it through the zone. They do a good job of hitting a receiver that's uncovered and not leading her. She has space. Just quick shot, nice offense. We'll see how Nemesis is able to respond on defense.
So down 5-2, Kubalanza and Nemesis have a lot of work to do here. Kelly Johnson back on the field. We'll see in their first upwind point on defense, Nemesis went with a man-to-man defense. We'll see if they pull that out again here. Kelly Johnson to pull.
Johnson to pull for Nemesis.
Another low pull. Good roll. Granke to pick it up for Showdown. It's man-to-man with a poacher in the middle. Sarah Blythe. Blythe takes a shot deep. And just out of reach for Sarah Levin.
I'm not sure if they were intending to not guard the thrower. Both times they had a wide open swing on that sideline. Showdown with no mark and a wide open deep
It looked to me like a serious sag where they took the handler defender off, put her in the lane, and left that swing wide open. So baiting those crossfield throws, which are really difficult in these conditions. Go to the sideline. That's Laura Moore making the catch for Nemesis. Moore up to Nye. And Nemesis closing on the upwind end zone, but dropping the disc. So back to Showdown. It looks like a foul call on this throw. I'm not sure what the thrower was thinking there. I think she was just trying to get it down. Kara Crouch going deep. That was Amanda Behrens calling the
No
foul.
contest on that foul.
Or, excuse me, Katie fourth.
Coming in on 0. Katie fourth with the disc for Showdown.
And fourth with a forehand this time. Laura Moore with the block.
Laura Moore goes up for the D for Nemesis.
Kelly Johnson to pick up. Showdown looks like they're in a man-to-man. Look for some poaching. Nemesis swings it wide. Sam Kane with the disc. Kane looking around. Kelly Johnson going up line. Johnson on the forehand sideline. Pick call in the middle of the field.
Pick call. Good effective play, so the disc will stay with Vegas on 0.
Disc check back in. And here's Kelly Johnson with a shot. Amelia Garcia, the intended receiver. Good coverage by Showdown. And Grenke's taking a shot deep. And fourth, pulling it down. Katie fourth with the goal. Showdown with the downwinder, up 6-2.
No hesitation to take the deep shot to Katie fourth there.
Number 11, Katie
I
Fourth.
believe that's one pass after the turn.
Grenke picks up unmarked. I think in these conditions, you can't leave a thrower that unmarked and give him that easy a look downfield. It allows them to put those touch on it. They don't have to throw it out wide. They can put it to the space that that receiver's running to.
And again, we have one of the quick transition throws where Nemesis defense doesn't get a chance to set up. Earlier in the point, Laura Moore, number 0 for Nemesis, who is a great defender. Ron Kugalanza was talking about her being one of the best defenders in the game right now. She'd been playing in that kind of poachy zone deep, and we saw her get a D and be down there for the pressure on the second throw. And then after that turn, she was well downfield because I'm sure she's one of the big receivers for Nemesis downfield. And all the way down, away from the disc when it goes up. Showdown taking advantage of quick strikes. Now Nemesis working it downfield.
So Shelby Cooney with the pull for Showdown.
Shelby Cooney with the pull for Showdown.
Man-to-man defense from Showdown. Lizzie Shield with the disc, high stall count, finds Kelly Johnson. Johnson around. Unable to hold onto it is Doobie. You know, Showdown coming out with a lot of different looks here, a couple different zone looks as well as some man-to-man. Must be putting Nemesis a little bit on their heels. You know, they're not sure what to expect at each point, and so they're not ready for the strategy watch. But here's Katie Delora with the block. And a lot of yards in that block as well. And now Nemesis with a great opportunity. Delora isolated in the end zone. Shield looking for the reset. And she puts up a high stall count, wasting a fantastic opportunity from Nemesis. So Beck's fourth to pick the disc up for Showdown.
That's going to be a travel call, but she doesn't get all the way up to the goal line. Disc gets tapped in, uncontested.
Rabbie going up line, getting the disc for Showdown. Overruled travel call. Beck's fourth going up line. Reset coming back around to Ramirez. Ramirez, lots of contact downfield on that one. Throw was behind the intended receiver.
We'll see how this turns out. I'm sure Katie Delora is arguing maybe an unplayable catch. Disc was already down before the contact was made.
It's a tough one here. So Just Win making the cut under, throw behind her, and Delora had the angle. Win stopped and tried to get in front of Delora there. I think Win would have had that catch though without that contact. And the contact certainly initiated by Delora in that situation.
Yeah, observers are going to rule that it is a foul. no argument that the contact was made. Showdown going to keep possession of the disc. 50 yards to go.
So win with a forehand. To Beck's fourth. Not going to stay in bounds.
Lizzie Shield going to be able to take this disc all the way up to where it first crossed the sideline plane.
And a shot right away. Again, that downwinder, that one's going to sail 20 yards out of bounds, past the end zone. You know, before the game, we saw Nemesis spending a lot of time working on their upwind throws. What's really been hurting them in these games is these downwind throws. I mean, they're not staying on the field. They're 10 yards past their receivers a lot of the time. Even the short ones, and here's a deep shot. Good D from Delore. Delore, second opportunity, gets it, pulls it down. Kelly Johnson. We have a stoppage here. Looks like a foul call that was retracted.
Great
Just stay with Kelly Johnson.
I was going to say, a great D from Delore, not only to get in coming off a receiver, but to stick with it and make sure that Showdown doesn't have a second opportunity.
Lizzie Shield out wide to Doobie. And here's another shot. Another downwinder. This one's not going to come back in bounds. Lots of bend on that one. The wind kept it and held it out there.
Yeah, Nemesis having a lot of trouble. They're putting a lot of those hucks in the same third of the field, from their throws to their receivers. And especially it is a downwind, but there's still a little bit of cross to it. The wind is pushing throws to that backhand side. And Nemesis having a tough time breaking off that sideline to give themselves a better advantage of the wind.
So Deloro puts upfield, but number 12, Diana Cherrier with the block for Showdown. Raby to pick the disc up. Swinging all the way across. Cooney with the disc. It's a call. Pick called in the middle.
Now coming in on 3.
Fourth. Back to fourth.
Good shot across field to break up the downwind throws.
Nice movement here from Showdown. Showdown with a shot. It's not going to hold its edge, but all the way down to that upwind end zone. Shot from wind there.
Good look by Showdown, but it does result in the turn.
Be interested to see if Nemesis is able to work it to the other sideline to give themselves an advantage, but no. Kelly Johnson going for the huck immediately. Unsuccessfully. A few receivers, but again, that might just be going for the field position.
Robbie with the backhand. To fourth all the way around to win. Fourth. Up the line, lots of contact there. No foul call, but a turnover from Shelby Cooney. Liz Shield trying to go over the top to Johnson. Caught by number 7, that's Doobie.
So turnover is going to count. There's a contact between Johnson and some of the receivers, but on a continuation throw, turnover counts. Trying to go upwind, just unable to get those deep throws upwind in front of the intended receiver.
ugly point here. Whoever wins this point is going to have a little momentum. Showdown with a lot of their top players on the sideline, though, for this point, so definitely playing to their advantage that it's long. And a really big gust hitting us right now. Nemesis in a vert stack. Gould unable to come up with that one. And a round throw incomplete. I know sometimes watching at home is sometimes hard to get a feel for how windy this is. You know, it can look sloppy out here. These throws are very, very difficult.
Good break side throws by Nemesis. They're working it down the other side of the field. And it works for them. Christine Doobie getting the goal. In great field position, they set themselves up and they were able to hit some of those break throws to get on the good side of that wind.
So Nemesis is able to string a few passes together there. Katie Delore with the assist, Doobie with the goal. 6-3.
Nemesis gets the goal there, but I still think the advantage of the point goes to Showdown. Nemesis was playing a long point with their top players. Showdown, like we said, they had that very deep roster. So even though it was a long point, it might not have been people who were going to be as important in their downwind offense. Now they're able to put in fresh legs and top players. Nemesis, though, it looks like a standard D-line. So not many of these people were in on the last point. They should be fresh, but battling on this upwind point to get a break, to claw themselves back into this game.
So, of course, lots of other action going on this round. Quick update in one of the open quarterfinals. Ring just broke upwind against Sockeye to make it 6-4. Ring with the lead. Revolver up on half, 8-2 against Machine, running away with that one. Fury up 6-4 on the Capitals. In the women's division, of course. Ozone up 4-3 on Riot. That game is on serve. Nemesis pull, rolls, ends up at about midfield. And deep shot right away. Nice pass. And the reception by Francis Tsukano. Sarah Blythe there with the throw.
Very smooth offense from Showdown. One throw. And a long reach from Laura Moore on the mark, trying to stop those downwind throws. Unsuccessful, though, as they're able to get it on the flick side.
So, in just diametric opposition there to Nemesis downwind point, Showdown just picks it up, puts it first pass. Their downwind throws look very good. Lots of touch on them and throwing them to the right space for their receivers to run onto them. So up 7-3, Showdown here with the opportunity to take half. Nemesis, 2 points ago we had that very long point. They took off a lot of their top players. They only had 2.5 minutes of rest, and now they're back on the field again. You see Kelly Johnson there.
Yeah, Johnson, Val Nye, Lizzie Shield, all three of those, Shield and Johnson especially important in the handler position. Showdown, of course, if they're able to break, will take this game to half.
Austin Lynn, the goal for Showdown.
Austin Lynn with the pull is going to roll all the way to the sideline. Shield to pick it up.
Johnson going up line. Able to come down with that one. Showdown forcing backhand here. And a drop there from Christine Doobie. patience from Showdown. And a nice block there.
This is Shield. Yeah, keeping the disc alive for their offense. About halfway down, but they're on that trap win sideline. They've been struggling all day to get it to the other side and give themselves a good lane to throw it in.
It's almost as if Showdown here is baiting them to throw those really tough downwind hucks here in this situation. And Nemesis showing some restraint here, throwing the unders. Doobie with the disc, holds on to this one. And Kelly Johnson on the doorstep.
Shield calling the foul, trying to go up line. Foul contested, so coming in the middle of the count. Seems to be arguing for a stalling 2 or a stalling 4. Observer will rule, stalling coming in at 4.
Nice round of Shield. Shield marked by Barons here. Shield with you around. And that one's not going to hold. So Showdown working upwind. Rachel Massey to pick the disc up. High stall count, finds the outlet, and a Giles here, foul called after the catch. The turnover there to Barons. So Nemesis another great opportunity here.
Shield is going to pick up. Johnson. That's Johnson and Sarah Miller. Set up behind her. Looks back to the reset. And push passes to Miller. Miller getting by her defender into the goal.
Janelle Van Zandt on defense there, but Nemesis able to put it in 7-4. Taking them to a very important upwind point for them. This is an opportunity to get this game back within reach before halftime.
Yeah, if Nemesis is able to get one upwind break, it usually opens up an easy downwind break on the next point. That'd be a 2-point swing, put them back in this game at 6-7. It seems like Nemesis is going to call a timeout. Ron Kubalanza realizing how important getting an upwind break is in this situation. And on their timeout, we're going to take a quick break too, and we'll be back with you in just a minute.
Welcome back here to very, very windy Sarasota, Florida. And the wind seems to be shifting. It's actually moving to a slight left to right wind, which is kind of the opposite direction that we've been seeing the rest of the weekend. And this was a very sudden shift that happened during the timeout. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams adjust to this. This is Something new.
Nemesis
Pulls up from Tormy.
almost coming back towards them. They're able to stop it. Less than half field. And
right
Showdown in the back of the end zone, watching the line, can't reel it in.
So Blythe with that forehand break. That was a very nice throw from Blythe right to the back of the end zone to fourth intended receiver. Fourth couldn't hold on to it. That's a good opportunity for Nemesis. Showdown been very efficient on those downwind points so far.
King breaking on the backhand side. I like that throw. Working it on the break side as Moore has it. Goes up to Garcia. They're still working the break side with the wind pushing the disc to the middle of the field. And a foul is called on the pivot. Garcia at a great position to get a break for Nemesis. This would be a huge point for them.
Great movement to get to this point. Here's another break mark throw on the goal line.
Disc floats, and Moore is able to bring it down. Nemesis gets the upwind break, and they bring this game 5-7. Huge momentum before going into half. This could be big for Nemesis.
Definitely, that was an incredibly critical point for them. Fourth with the drop here, they could Showdown right about to take half 8-5, and then really smooth offense. That's definitely the smoothest offense we've seen from Nemesis so far today. Upwind, 5 consecutive passes, a reset, and then this one hangs up a little bit, but Moore able to track it down as it floats in the air and pull it down, bring it within 2, and the opportunity to go downwind to bring it within 1.
Yeah, and what I really liked about the offense on that point that I feel like we haven't seen from Nemesis is the way that they were working the opposite side of the field. We said it's switched to a crosswind. It's a little bit back to the downwind, but the crosswind looking at the screen is going left to right. So when you get pinned on that right-hand side, it's much more difficult to get upwind throws. And that time, they're hitting the break side. They were staying on the kind of upwind side of the field, and their offense looked a lot smoother for doing that.
And a lot of quick continuations on that break side. They got one, and they immediately turn and hit the next thrower. They didn't let Showdown get set. So now the pressure on the Showdown offense going upwind. This is the first time we've seen them going upwind from an offensive point. Kara Crouch to receive. Up to Vincent. Nemesis coming down man-to-man. That one's out wide to Ogden. Back to Vincent and a turnover here now. Nemesis with a great opportunity for a break.
Short field turn. Johnson is in on this defensive point. You can feel the importance. King back, and Johnson, quick shot. Finds Valnai, but a pick called in the stack. Johnson with a nice forehand break. Again, playing that crosswind side. And the way it's set up here, it looks like on the mark, Sarah Blythe gets a clean hand block. Excellent defense.
So Kara Crouch with a shot to Blythe. Kelly Johnson with the bid. Blythe picks it up and takes another shot deep. She's got fourth there. Fourth with a lot of contact there.
And there's going to be
Doobie on the
discussion.
defense.
Yeah, this is a big point. If Doobie is able to get this block, it's a huge momentum for Nemesis. Taking a look at it. Tough call. Blythe, who's down there on the catch?
Fourth with the on the reception.
Fourth going for the clap catch. Christine Doobie maybe getting a hand in the middle before she's able to fully clamp down on the disc.
Definitely a lot of contact in there, but that's a tough one because they both seem to have position. You know, I think Doobie's arm was coming down on Fourth's arm there. Looks like the observer does uphold the foul call. So Katie fourth now with the disc just a few yards outside the upwind end zone. And this will be a big momentum switch. Nemesis is about to get their second break in a row, and now fourth going upwind here for Showdown and half. High stall count, and she just puts one up, has an open receiver.
And a contested stall on the throw. Oh, this is going to be big. If the goal counts, Showdown will take it into half. If it's a stall, Nemesis has a chance to bring it within one. Talking to the observer.
So 3 big calls on this point now. First the pick that negated the Nemesis goal, then the foul call which kept it in Katie Fort's hands. And here's a stall call, which contested stall looks like it's coming back.
Contested stall. And yeah, as you mentioned, Kyle, a lot of fouls and going to the observers. I'm sure the teams aren't meaning to play ignoble here, but just when it gets intense, you can see how they're really trying to use the rules to their advantage. Disc floats, and it is brought down by Showdown. No call. That goal is going to count.
So Sarah Blythe with the catch off the Katie Forth backhand that hangs up in the air. So Showdown takes advantage to take half here. Here's the float, and Blythe heads up play, able to pull it down. So all 3 calls benefiting Showdown on this point. Huge momentum switch, and we're going to go to half. This is NGN's coverage of the 2012 USA College Club Championships, encoding by Elemental Technologies. Please join us for the second half. We'll be on a different stream.